Welcome back to the Goalie Corner presented by One Stop Goaltending. I'm Coach Michael, and today we have a very special guest with us. I'd like to introduce Ewan Huet to the program. He's taken the time. He's all the way out in Switzerland right now. He's going to tell us a little bit about his journey, a little bit about maybe his upbringing. I'm sure you're probably around the hockey rink quite a bit. We'll save that maybe for a teaser if anybody doesn't know. And talk about his journey, what he's doing this off season, how he's gotten to where he is, all of his successes, all of his maybe advice for the younger generation. But let's dive into your experiences, learn more about your journey, and how you got to the WHL, because that's a pretty far distance to get to. And welcome. Let me
Thanks.
uh,
Thanks for having me.
let me start you off with a softball question. Who is your favorite goalie growing up?
Oh, that's a tough one. I always grew up. I love Carey Price. I've watched the Canadians all my life, so Carey Price. Yeah, exactly. No, yeah, he's the one guy I always look up to. But right now, for a couple of years now, it's been UC Saros.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, oh, yeah. He's my size, and yeah, he's just amazing skater. And for me, he has been one of the best goalies for the past 5 years. So yeah, no.
Already getting off topic, but with Sorrows, when was it that you started like noticing or watching him? Because he's been around for a long time already.
Mhm. Yeah, he was backing up Pecorine for a while, but with my size, I'm just under 6 feet, but I'm not a big goalie, so watching Saros is he's kind of like the people's champ, and it's been now, I want to say just before COVID, I
Yeah,
starting noticing him and talking with my dad, and he's just amazing. Everything that he does is he's just textbook perfect. So
yeah. He might be one of my favorite goalies to watch game film on
oh
because it's so different than uh I'm just gonna say Connor Hellebuck just because he's the
yeah.
tallest guy I'm thinking of right now.
Yeah.
Right. And
Mm.
what's more relevant in goalie coaching world? Well, we have guys growing up, normally starting pretty short and getting taller. And it's like, here's your best example ever. Right.
Mm.
Anyways, all right, back to you. Can you share how you first got started playing goalie?
Obviously I grew up watching a goalie all my life, and I started as a player. Did every sport you can even think of: tennis, swimming, basketball, whatever. And then I wanted to try goalie, but my dad was like, "Well, first start as a player, learn how to skate." And yeah, when I was 8 years old, I think I got my first gear, and that's how I fell in love with being a goalie.
Were you born and raised in Switzerland?
Actually, I was born in Germany because my dad was playing there during the
Oh,
2004, yeah, lockout. And then
yeah,
yeah, I grew up, lived 5 years in North America, and then moved back to Switzerland. And yeah,
gotcha.
so basically, I grew up all my life in Switzerland.
Now we teased it a little bit. I just want to get it out of the way. Um, but his dad is Cristobal Huet, famous goalie, well-respected goalie. I had a little bit of a fanboy moment when I reached out to you and I saw that you were not wearing his pads, but your CCM pads were designed to look like his. That was like a really cool moment that I saw. I'm sure it's way cooler for you to do that. Um, but with the technology of the pads now, it's like, oh, you can do that, and holy smokes, like it was just so cool, to be honest with you. I've always been a fan of your dad's, and I'm trying to restrain myself
Nice.
here.
No worries.
It's going to be interesting hearing about your journey through, we don't have to touch on it too much, but through minor hockey into juniors, into international play, and then currently. in North America, like because it's so different than everybody else I've brought on
Mhm.
and talked to and interviewed. They're either from Canada, from the States. We've had one guy from Latvia, but
Mhm.
he went the NCAA route, so slightly different. So can you give us a maybe a brief description of your journey through minor hockey into junior hockey in Switzerland?
Yeah, for sure. As I said, I grew up in Switzerland, and so I started skating here, and we lived in a small village up in the mountains in the French part of Switzerland. It's a small community, small rink, and not a whole lot of you know good facilities. And yeah, basically, I grew up playing
Like, do you guys
hockey with my
have rep
friends.
technically?
Sorry?
Do you guys like have rep hockey? So like it's like
What's that?
elevated for each age group.
No, 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 not at all. It's like junior B in every level. I don't know. It's like single A or
Yeah.
whatever it is in Canada. So pretty quickly, I moved here to the big city. It's called Lausanne, so where my dad played, and I did all my years through under 13 to my last year was first year under 20.
Yeah.
So it's like yeah. So I grew up with the same bunch of guys, and did all my years with them. So it was the best. It was all my you know so much fun, and growing up with the same guys, it's playing and going to school with them. It's just so much fun. I know in Canada it's not really like that, but yeah, for European hockey, it's yeah,
There's a lot of
it's
moving.
amazing.
There's a lot of moving around in Canada to find the
Yeah.
best opportunity
Mm-hmm.
instead of sticking to one spot and developing and kind of climbing that ladder, which it's kind of sounding like.
Mm-hmm.
How did you end up in Regina? I know that they had that European draft a few years ago
Yeah.
now. Is was that part of it?
No, I was last year, so 2023. Oh wait, yeah, 2023. I had the U18 Worlds in here in Switzerland actually, and it went pretty good for me, and I had a couple teams interested in me. I knew before the draft, and so I thought I was kind of more going to the QMJHL, but
Oh,
like 3 picks into the draft, my agent just texted me and says, "Oh, actually, Regina, I'm gonna draft you," and was not expecting it at all, but it was yeah, such a good news, and yeah, I love it.
did did your agent ever have a discussion with you? Like, what if you get drafted to both leagues? Or
Well,
was it
actually, well, you can't. It's one draft for
okay? So all the leagues are
each.
included into
Yeah,
that
yeah.
one
So
draft.
there's like 120 picks,
Yeah.
and every teams get 2 picks,
Wow.
and yeah, yeah, it's a pretty big draft, and that was it was a special moment for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So let's reflect a little bit on the early years. What are some of the challenges that you faced in developing your game? Like, how did you find yourself? How did you find your strengths? How did you find your weaknesses, if you have
Um,
any?
have a lot. It's well, it's a tough question, but for me the big question was my off ice trainings. I was really bad off ice, and it's been now I'm 2 years, and I've had that goalie coach since my first under 15 year, and he's been unreal. He's followed me through all my years here in Lausanne, and I think working with him was the best thing that could have happened with me. He pushed me, and I think for me it was I like to say that I was pretty talented young, but my off ice was just didn't follow. I was not athletic. I was
That's a
not
little
like all those
surprising
other. I know, and
with all
yeah,
the outside sports that you were doing.
hmm yeah, I know. Well, it was just we didn't really care about off ice, I guess. And
Right.
then so my second year under 15, I had a new strength and conditioning coach, and I really worked on specific things. So explosiveness and, running. And so I've become better at it. I'm still working on it, not gonna lie. But yeah, for me, that was the big part of my, you know, youth years, I guess.
Yeah. So is it fair to say that like on ice, it felt like you kind of had it, but there was something that was holding you back, and you realized
Hmm.
that it was the off ice, and that's really elevated your game.
Hmm. Yeah. No,
Awesome.
growing up, I was not the best goalie. Uh, and every year, I think my first year under 17 really was where I got, kind of got the mojo and went a little better for me. And yeah, no, before I always kind of struggle. And, I was lucky enough, to pull through. And, but yeah, I had a lot of adversity when I was younger. So yeah,
I like I got the mojo. Just
yeah.
sounds a little swaggy. Um, what are some of your strengths in during gameplay?
Um, I'd say I'm pretty good mentally. I view it as a game, and I rarely have some pressure. I'm really not unfazed by things, but almost. And it's no, I see it as a game, and it's always fun. I can always try and go out there and have some fun, and it helps me a lot. It helps me a lot. Like sometimes you forget all those little things, but it's so much fun to be a hockey player, and through games it helps me a lot. And yeah, that's a big thing. And otherwise, it's yeah, no, that's a big part. Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. So it's safe to say you're mentally strong because you know that you just don't take it too serious. Obviously, you take it
Mhm.
serious, but you're
Yeah.
not worrying about the small details. Like if you
Mhm.
mess up and you still make a save, but you don't catch the puck, you're like, okay, like I
Mhm.
just got to work a little harder now.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. It's taking shot after shot. I think that's really important. Past is past, and you never know what future holds, but really try and don't care. It's take one shot after the other, and try and stop the puck every time.
What was a memorable moment or a game from your earlier career that still stands out to this day, and like it very well could be from last season.
Mhm.
Um, but it's just impacted, and maybe you're feeling down, you think back to this game and it brings you right back up.
No, I have even chills talking about it. But for me, it must be my first game at the U18 Worlds. It was in Switzerland. It was
That's
against
so
Finland.
cool.
It was so cool, and it was pretty packed arena. It was unreal feeling. Wearing the Swiss jersey. It's always a special feeling. When you grow up watching. I don't know if you know, but Jonas Hiller and
Yeah.
Eto Berra and David Ebischer,
Yeah.
all those goalies, and then seeing Roman Yossi and all those guys in the NHL, and wearing the same jersey as them. It's an honor, and for me that was one of the most coolest things ever, and I'll remember that game ever forever.
Wow. Is This is more of a me question, being curious.
Yeah. Hmm.
When you're in like minor hockey, was
Hmm.
the ice size Olympic size or was it NHL size?
No, it's like it was a Olympic size. Even yeah, even for the worlds, it's
Yeah.
always Olympic size. So yeah, I know North American teams don't like it,
Yeah,
but
we don't like
yeah,
to
here
skate.
it's Olympic size. I know. It's yeah, I think everyone likes. I think we should have NHL size rinks here. Like it's better. No.
Yeah, it's always
Hmm.
interesting seeing the Olympics, World Juniors, any international
Hmm.
hockey. Like the big deal is what size rink is it going to be played
Yeah,
on,
yeah, I
right?
know.
Like let's just
Mm.
make it the same everywhere.
No, I agree. I agree. I think everyone agrees, but you know, it's
Obviously, it's hard to change a building once it's built.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
yeah. So that's pretty cool. Putting that jersey on, being home too, being
Yeah,
at home. That's crazy. Against Finland. Is it
yeah.
a good
First game.
rivalry against Finland? Do you guys really have it?
It's
Like big rivalries?
yeah, our big rivalry is Germany, Slovakia, Czechia. And
Yeah,
yeah, obviously it's always a big game against, Finland, Sweden. They're always good teams, but
yeah,
yeah, big rivalry is Germany. Yeah, yeah,
fair.
it's
I
yeah.
think that's fair.
Hmm.
Um, you already answered this question, but asking again, just in case there's some more detail. How has your training regime or schedule evolved over the years, meeting the demands of being an elite goalie?
Hmm. Well, so I think it really started, becoming almost like it's, small pro in
Hmm.
the way of training was my first year under 17. You get better facilities, you get a locker room, you get, a full, you get your own strength and conditioning coach for the team, and it gets serious, and we get uh, more thrown into performance than in under 15. Under 15 is still pretty chill. It's have fun, and yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's five five practices a week in under 17, and then under 15 is three practices a week, and then three off ice trainings. So
gotcha.
yeah, it's yeah.
And then since it's the off season right now,
Mhm.
what does your training routine look like now? Like how many are you in the gym every single day? Are you focused on weightlifting more than maybe agility and cardio? Are you on the ice at all?
So for the summer, I asked I know very well the strength and conditioning coach here in Lausanne for the pro team,
Mhm.
and so I asked him if I could join him for the summer. I've been working with him for a while, so he knows me really well, and we get along really well. So I joined the pro team here, and so pretty much a day in a life. It's I get to drink at 7:30, have a big warm up, have an hour and a half uh, lift, straight up weights, then jump on the ice, have a 90-minute break, and then hop on a bike for 2 hours.
Whoa.
And yeah, I know. So and then I, pretty much end the day at like 2:33. And then, if I want to go golf, I'll go golf with some buddies of mine. So yeah, it's pretty long days.
How often do you have a day that long of training? Every like seven
It's
days a week or
no, it's on so Monday, Tuesday, uh, Thursdays, and so we go on the ice on Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays.
yeah.
Friday ice is optional, and then we're gonna lift and do the bike every single day,
Wow.
Monday to Friday.
Now I have
So
to ask, is it a spin bike or are you on the road going up crazy mountains for 2 hours?
no, it's a spin bike. Some
Okay.
guys go on the road, but I'm not that guy. I'm too afraid I'll get injured or something. Yeah,
That's
I
pretty
know.
cool. Does that goalie coach that you
Yeah,
mentioned before, does he go out to those ice times or is it more like a team practice
no,
sort of thing?
no, it's only goalies who get a couple of shooters, from the players. But now, so my dad is goalie coach from the pro team here, so he
Awesome.
goes on the ice with us. So yeah, no, it's pretty awesome. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
I'm jealous. Um, that is very cool. That's quite a bit of training. When you
Yeah,
got
yeah. Well,
when your season ended, how much break did you have?
so actually, so the only reason I have, this usually it's a little more chill since we have like last year I did 14 weeks of summer preparation if you want, and this year I only have 7.
Oh,
So that's why we're a little more, working a little harder. longer days because so at the end of the season we missed the playoffs, so I came back and this under 20 national team asked me if I could join them in Slovakia. So I had 2 weeks of practice and then joined them in Slovakia. So that's why I ended my year at the end of April. Then
Gotcha.
had 3 weeks off and
And then right back
started a
to
month
it.
ago. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's not a whole lot of break. And then I still have 2 weeks in July also, so it's
Nice.
all right. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
This might be just a me question. Are you
Hmm.
planning to come back to the Pats for this upcoming season?
Yeah, yeah, that's what I told them. For me, I want to play one more year in the CHL. And
Gotcha.
yeah, for me, going back to Regina would, it's a no-brainer. But we never know if they
Yeah.
want me back or I know they have a
It's a
high pick in
business.
the. Yeah, it is actually. So
Yeah.
I know they have a high pick in the import draft. So we'll see how that pans out. But yeah, no, hopefully I'm back next year.
Do you know when you would have to leave to travel back here?
So if it's like last year, it would be end of August, start of
Okay.
September. But yeah,
That's not too bad.
no, it's all right.
Um, all right, let me look down my list of 1,000 questions here to ask you and not overwhelm you with it. Let's jump right into the WHL kind of stuff right now. What was it like when you put on the Pats jersey and you stepped out to your first WHL game? Um, was it the first time you were on NHL sized ice?
Yes, it was. Yeah, no, I remember really well my first game. I thought it was awesome. Putting on, with the little WHL thingy right here. I thought it was awesome. It was so much fun, and it's up there with one of the games that I'll remember forever. And it was awesome. It was like, wow, I'm playing here overseas, and no, it was a huge honor. And yeah.
How is the game different to what you were used to, either because of the ice sheet or just
Mhm,
because like everybody else here grew up with a lot of different strategy
mhm.
and skills coaches, like a lot different than what maybe you were used to, which obviously evolves the
So
game differently.
so I think for goalies, it's kind of the fundamentals that change. No, it's your game plan that changes a lot. It's small details, but they make up a lot in your game. And everything's quicker in North America. They put the puck on the net every time they have a chance to, and they make great plays. A lot of passing. Yeah. So they shoot a lot more than here in Europe. In Europe, it's kind of more. It's kind of like soccer. They want to keep the puck. Work
Yeah.
with it. Settle in the ozone. I feel like in North America, it's like rush in that play on the rush, and that was it. Was like I think it's a lot more fun to play in North America, if I'm being honest. And yeah,
That's a hot take. I'll take that
I
as a
know.
compliment.
I know. Yeah,
It's probably because it's
I know.
it,
Yeah.
well, it probably is the smaller ice and there's less room,
Mhm,
so you have to do stuff a little bit quicker. I always loved
mhm.
playing on Olympic ice because
Yeah,
I thought it was just so easy. I got so much time. Players think they're shooting that from the top of the circle, but the angle is so different. And it's
I
like,
know.
thank
Hmm.
you. And I'm not a tall
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Like I'm
Hmm.
5'10". I think I
Hmm.
touched 5'11" once.
Yeah.
It was the best day of my life when I was almost 6 feet tall. So I loved the Olympic size ice, and yeah, it's
Mm.
how how did you adapt your game throughout the season to better suit that fast-paced WHL style? Or did you
Mhm.
have to adapt your style very much throughout the season?
So I think it was actually I thought I adapted pretty quickly at the start of the year. And then I was like, oh, well, actually, not really. So I had, small details to change throughout the whole season. and even now I'm still working on it here in Europe, trying to, figure out stuff. But yeah, for me, the big struggle was post plays
Mhm.
because I'm kind of, trying to kind of more of a stand-up goalie, trying to be, how would you say, just outside my posts, even when the guy's like in the corner.
Okay. Like an
And
overlap?
yeah, overlap. Yeah, exactly. Overlap's the
Okay.
word I was searching for. And yeah, when you see, North American goalies, they're in
They're
RVH quicker than what we could see in Europe. So for me, that was a big change. And I thought at the end of the season, it was way better than at the start. So yeah, for me, that was one of the biggest changes.
interesting. So
Mm-hmm.
I never really thought of post play on that tighter
Mm-hmm.
ice surface.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be
And
challenging to alter that.
mhm. Especially being a small goalie, I've seen high end players just
Yeah.
put it over your shoulder, and you're like, what should I do? Like, should I stand up? And like he just slips it 5-hole, or like it's so
It
tough. And yeah,
it's not fair.
no, I know. So
They should
yeah.
make the nets this is kind of like a dumb hot take, but they should make the nets based on the goalie size. So every net's different for everybody.
Oh,
That'd
that would be pretty cool.
be so hard to do though.
I know,
Could
but
you
yeah.
imagine someone like who was that very tall goalie for Philadelphia who came over? He
Oh,
was
I
like
see that Russian dude. Yeah,
yeah,
I
could
saw
you
that.
imagine? That's a soccer net if we're going
I
off his
know.
height.
Oh, totally. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
Um, was the WHL more games in a season than what you previously played?
Mhm.
So
I think
how are you able to maintain your body, like the physical and the mental side, from not wearing down over that long stretch?
um it was I think I, you know, uh, had too many ups and downs during the season, so I'm working on it right now. And so I'm 2 hours on the bike, trying to have my a faster recovery, being quicker, having a quicker recovery, being able to play back to back games, and perform as it was only one game on a weekend. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm working on it right now. It was actually a big change too. We played 44 games the year before,
Mhm.
and
Whoa.
in WHL it's 68 games, so it's
Yeah, quite a bit.
it's a big difference. Yeah, I know. And yeah, so that was not easy, but I'm working on it. I with one season, I kind of oversee all those little challenges, and that's a big part of it. So yeah, I'm working on it right now.
I'm
But
sure,
it's
yeah, I'm sure when people were telling you like what you need to know coming into this
mhm,
league, they're like, it's a longer season, so
mhm,
be aware. It's like, okay,
yeah,
how do I adjust to such a
mhm,
longer season?
yeah, exactly. No, it goes through everything: sleep, eat well, you do cold bath, hot tub, whatever you need.
Yeah.
At this level, players, and they know what their body needs, and yeah. So
So when you were saying there was a lot of ups and downs, was it really
mhm.
just like your body feels good, or your body really took a dive, or is it like the actual gameplay went up and
It was
down a little bit?
the actual gameplay. I had like
Okay.
some 5 game, where I was great, and then the next week I was really bad, and I feel like it
Hmm.
had something to do with that recovery
Right.
thing, and maybe my body not being ready for it. And yeah, but I felt way better after World Juniors. So from January till end of March, where I
Right.
feel like I really started getting the idea of recovery and being, yeah, ready for long, long
Yeah.
streaks of games.
So when you're on the bike, you mentioned that you're focused on that recovery mainly from the bike exercise. Are you
Mhm.
doing like sprints and then focused on a little bit of recovery and then another sprint? Or are you just going at like a consistent heart rate for a while?
So yeah, it's actually so it's we do a bike test at the
Okay.
start of the off season, and based on your bike test, you have like this. So it's zone two, so it's really
Yeah.
easy. You should be able to maintain it for like 5 hours,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Zone two heart rate for
yeah,
anybody who's unaware.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's pretty easy, but it's 2 hours every day. So yeah, and it's for your basic endurance,
Yeah. Yeah.
especially being a goalie when you play 60 minutes a game. That's what
Why not?
that's what matters. Yeah, exactly.
Have to ask because
Hmm.
you see the bike behind me. I'm on that thing all the
Oh yeah.
time. And when I was playing, I could do it and listen to music, not listen to music, like just like in my own head for 2 hours. Now
Hmm.
I'm like, I need something to like watch because I'm just
I
getting
know.
bored. Like, are you sitting
So
there with like watching YouTube or something or
mhm. So it's the same for me. I was like able, just listen to music. And right now, so we're a group of like 5, 6 guys that do it at the same time. So we asked our strength and conditioning coach, to so now we have so to put a big screen in front of us. So now we have this big TV so we can watch, Netflix and whatever, or we have like, games on our phones that we play together. So, it's
you're playing
makes sense.
games
Yeah,
on your phone?
I know. Yeah, yeah. It's
Uh,
makes time go quicker.
yeah, no kidding. I never even thought of games. That's good. I don't think I have the coordination for that.
Oh,
Who gets the remote or the controller privileges for the TV?
oh, it's been me for the past couple times.
Whoa, that's
I
pressure.
know,
That's pressure.
I know, I know, and I'm one of the youngest guys out there, so
How'd
a
you
lot of pressure.
finagle that one?
Sorry.
How did you finagle that one? Finagle, like how did you work that?
Oh, so actually, I was the closest to the TV one day, and I put some good series on, and they were like, you know what? Well, just keep going.
The kid's hot. He's got it.
Hmm. Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
right back into the business questions.
Hmm.
We'll do a couple more and then start wrapping up. But what was the relationship like or the communication like between you and the team, you and the defenseman different in the WHL than previous, or what is it? What have you noticed the differences?
Um, Obviously on the type of words that are said, in Europe or I had to learn, their way of communication
Yeah.
in North America. But I've always been a guy that talks a lot on the ice. I think it's really important. You see the whole ice. You know what's happening, and yeah, I think we play an important role in breakouts and stuff. So yeah, for me, it was really fine. Guys are more professional
Yeah.
in the WHL. So yeah, it was they
Did
were
you ever accidentally say the wrong word or
yes, actually a
or
couple times.
or say it in
I
Swiss?
yeah, actually so once I talked in French and I was like, what did I say? And it was actually pretty funny. I was laughing alone. It was like, why are you laughing? Like, you don't get it. Whatever. Like it was pretty funny.
Just came out. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, it just came out. Yeah, exactly. It was, had to
Yeah,
say something and it just yeah.
that's funny. Um, do you have any superstitions or rituals for pregame?
Not really actually. I've never been really superstitious and I try to not be, I take it pretty chill and every game is different for me. So, one time I'll go and play Super Ball or, just stretch one time. It changes depending on my mood and that's how I work, it's yeah, it's take it as a game, really a
Take it as a
game.
game.
So
It is a game.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
right?
it is. Oh, well, yeah. I have my routines, but
Yeah.
if I don't do it, it's all right. Like it's,
Yeah.
I juggle. Yeah, yeah. So yeah.
I um I interviewed someone 2 days ago.
Hmm.
It's probably going to be about 3 weeks difference on recordings,
Hmm.
but he said he used to be very superstitious. And then somebody, he can't remember who, told him if it doesn't help you positively or doesn't make your body feel better, then there's no point to doing that. Right.
Hmm.
So like you'll see the guys like tape their stick a certain way, mess up, rip it off, try again, like flip the
Hmm.
stick a couple times,
Yeah.
do water bottle stuff. It's like if you feel like you have to, then you should change.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah. Yeah. For me, every game is different. If I'm, more tired, I'll grab a coffee or just, spray water on my face. And I feel
Yeah.
like it's kind of, your feeling going into the game.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah.
A little bit of common sense, obviously.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to start the wrap up conversation here. So that usually lasts about 10 minutes, but who knows? Uh,
Exactly.
oh, actually, this is a question for me.
Hmm.
I'm very curious on what your thoughts are with the different goalie coaches. So, your goalie coach back home and your goalie coach in Regina. What did you think of that difference? Or was there a difference really?
I think the difference is the goalie coach I had in Switzerland, he would travel with us and, he would be every day on the ice with us. We would watch video. I don't have to watch video, I watch it on my own and I pretty much know, or, I could, even if I have a question, I'd ask my dad or,
Yeah,
but for me, I like, having a goalie coach on the ice every day because a goalie coach is not only, uh, performance wise. He's also, he can help you off ice and mentally and have your confidence going. And so that was a big change for me, but it doesn't mean that it's right or wrong. It's just
different.
different ways of, yeah, exactly. Hmm.
Was there a different, so it is very common in North America. It's like one or two practices a week,
Hmm.
and it's very hit and miss with teams with the game film and the off ice stuff. But did you notice like a difference in actual coaching style? Like I'll paint a crazy picture, like
Hmm.
very absurd. Like was there like one coach does nothing but scream and yell at you and like motivate you through fear. The other one's trying to be your buddy sort of thing. Are they trying to get you playing different? So like that, okay, that was dumb. That was dumb. Let's scratch that. But the playing style that they were trying to get you to play, I think is
Hmm.
a better way of going about it, right? So you mentioned the post play. That's a
Hmm.
very, very North America thing uh, to focus on, right? Was there anything else in your game that they're they might not really be seeing eye to eye, maybe?
So in terms of coaches, I've always had a great relationship with my goalie coach. And last year was no difference. It was he was really nice, and we got along really well. And he helped me a lot. But it was, more. Even he helped me that even now I'm focusing on things he said to me last year,
Mhm.
and I'm trying to see, I'm seeing a difference because what we were working on was kind of, more like skating things, trying to adapt to North American plays, quick shuffles, and things that you don't really do in Europe because you have so much time. It's a bigger ice. So right now, I just at the end of the season, it was like, wow, what he told me was really helped me and is going to help me even when I come back and if I come back and play in Europe. So, but
So
the goal.
you guys don't do the small shuffles, like it's just bigger pushes kind of thing?
Yeah, it's bigger pushes, and if like so the ice is so big that small shuffles, even if the guys goes laterally, you have time to readjust and you don't have to be that quick. It's something that I see like goalies in Europe kind of struggle. Well, don't struggle, but don't use it as much as in North America. So when I got there, it was like, quick shuffles and get my, you know, the width of my
Yeah.
butterfly and all that stuff. So yeah, so
Okay.
that was a big change.
So like width of your butterfly, so you're going like wide butterfly or tight butter or narrow butterfly?
I'm pretty much I'm pretty wide actually. I try to be wide, but he was like be on top of the puck, see everything. Your tracking needs to be top notch. And he's right. Like in North America, shots are closer, quicker. Everything goes faster as in Europe. Like you have time to see pretty much everything. And yeah, so that was a
Interesting.
big change for me. And yeah, and what I saw with all my goalie coaches that I had in Europe, it was really focused on details of your game plan, having your game plan perfect, your skating skills, like be prepared to every plays that are going to happen in a game. So yeah, as in,
Is puck playing big in Europe?
yeah. Well, every coach that I had thought it was really important, and I grew up, as a player before, and I can play the puck. I think it's a something that I can do pretty well, and I think it's so important, when you see the flow,
Yeah.
keep the, you know, yeah, keep the flow and trying to get the puck out of your zone, help your defenseman, and yeah.
All right. What is a piece of advice that has stuck with you over a long period of time? It can be from goalie coach, from trainer, from your dad, from anybody, right? It doesn't even have to be hockey related. What's something that's helped you get to where you are based on just somebody just said this and it stuck with me?
I think for me, it's not really something that was said to me or was, you know, an advice, but my dad always asked me if I had fun, if it was fun for me to be a goalie, and if I liked it. And for me, that was the most important thing. And it still is. The day that I don't have fun anymore going to the rink, I think I'm gonna stop playing hockey. That's just how it is. And
Yeah.
it's a privilege to be a hockey player. And yeah, I mean, every day going to the rink, sometimes we forget it, but that's the most important thing. If you have a smile on your face, if you're happy to be there, that's where you need to be. And that's the biggest advice I'd give to someone. Just have fun, and you never know when your career is going to end or whatever. So yeah, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, don't take yourself
Yeah,
too serious, right? It is
yeah,
just a
exactly.
game.
Hmm.
And yeah, we obviously want to all play in the NHL or play pro
Hmm.
somewhere. It's gonna come.
It's going to come, exactly, if it's your path. And yeah, I mean, of course, if you want to like be serious, and I mean, I want to win. I play to win and all of that, but having fun is not number one rule for me. It's yeah,
Yeah.
and then everything's gonna come, So yeah.
Um, what's something that you would tell yourself if you could go back? Let's say, um, well, you're pretty young.
Yeah, I
So I
know.
forget how old I am sometimes. Um, let's say if you could go back to when you were 11 or 12.
You know, it would be don't rush it, because I always wanted to be the best, and had always, I'm really everything that I do is competition basically. I can ask everyone in my family. I would even playing ping pong in the garage. I would throw my racket. I was just rage
Oh,
and stuff. So yeah, it was just take it easy. Yeah, I was I think I think too much, and when I was younger, I was like want to be there, want to do this, and no, it's everything's gonna come. Just have fun and love all those years. Between 12 and 17, 18, it's the best, and you'll always remember them. So yeah, no, it's
so be in the moment,
yeah,
right?
exactly. Be in
Have
the
your
moment.
goal, always strive
Mhm.
for what you
Oh yeah,
want, but be in the moment.
exactly.
Awesome.
Mm,
Well, I appreciate you taking your time. It's 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock now here, and it's 6 p.m. over there. So,
I know.
um, I really appreciate your time. We might have to touch base when you're closer to our time zone.
No worries.
Um,
Oh, pleasure.
and then whenever you're in Kamloops, because that's where we are,
Hmm.
I'll come and watch your game maybe.
Yeah,
Be the
yeah.
only
Just
Regina
text me.
Pats fan.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think we're going to Kamloops next year, so
Yeah.
why not? Yeah, yeah. I'll get you some tickets, and yeah,
You don't have to worry
it'll be
about
fun.
that. You don't have to worry about that. But thank you for your time. Is there any piece of advice maybe we left off the table that you want to just toss in at the end here? Or you think we hit everything?
I think we pretty much hit everything.
I
Do
agree
you
with you.
have anything? Yeah, yeah.
No, well, I think it goes for everybody. Be open-minded. Like
Yeah.
I know every goalie technically is your competition, but we're all in it for
Hmm.
the same reasons, right?
Hmm.
So be friendly with one another and push each other positively,
Oh yeah, yeah.
right?
Exactly.
We're all
Oh.
friends. Where there's
Hmm.
two of us on a team and 20 other people.
Hmm.
So be
Yeah,
friendly.
exactly.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for your time.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Perfect. Cut.